In this episode, I'm sharing a live where I talked about the 3 Ds of weight loss. And you can see which D you might be in right now and how to get out of it and how to get in the right D. But before I get into that, I want to invite you to a free workshop. And normally I charge for this workshop, but I'm going to be offering it for free inside of the Transformation Tribe community on September 15th. That's a Thursday at 7 p.m. And don't worry, if you can't make it live, you're going to have access to the replay to watch it for the entire weekend. So if you're a woman who loves the Lord, but you're just struggling with your weight loss or maybe overeating, or maybe you have a sweet tooth that you just can't shake, then I want you to join me for this free workshop. We are going to go through some biblical principles and some practical steps that are going to help you really lean into your faith and get out of that lose weight and gain it back cycle. And at the end of the workshop, I am going to be offering a really inexpensive group coaching program that will run for 40 days. However, you will leave the free workshop with an actual plan and some actual steps to help you so that you can totally do it on your own. So please come join us for free inside of Transformation Tribe so you can get access to that free workshop on September 15th. And then, like I said, you'll have the full weekend to watch that replay if you can't make it live that day. All right, so you can join us in there at malaikaburley.com/network. Of course, the link is also in the show notes. All right, let's go. Welcome to the Overweighted Podcast, where we get real about the struggles of being obese and needing to lose a whole lot of weight. My name's Malaika. I'm your host, weight loss mentor and coach. Join me on my personal weight loss journey to lose about 200 pounds, and as I share my very real experiences, plus some simple, successful, and sustainable weight loss tips and mindset shifts so that we can mark lose weight off of our to-do list for good. All right, I'm here to share the 3 Ds of weight loss. If you've never met me before, my name's Malaika Burley. I tend to do these outside, and there's always lots of noise like that. So forgive me about the noise and the roosters that live next door. So anyway, my name is Malaika Burley. I am a weight loss mentor and transformational coach, and I like to help women who have gained a significant amount of weight and lost themselves. I like to help them gain themselves back and lose the weight. And I typically do that in Transformation Tribe. You can join us for free, malaikaburley.com/network. I like to do that in Transformation Tribe primarily, and also through the Overweighted podcast. And you can listen to that anywhere that you listen to podcasts. And then there goes my dog, because why not add some more noise? All right. But anyway, I'm going to share the 3 Ds of weight loss. And you can see which of these Ds apply to you. And then I'm going to give you some tips on how to stick with the most important D. All right. So let's get into this. So and I'm sorry about that. They are like in my yard. They walked over here into my yard. So sorry about the roosters. All right. So anyway, the home work life struggle is real, right? All right. Anyway, the first D is when you have a desire to lose weight. So the first D is when you have a desire to lose weight. And I looked up the definition, and desires or when you have a desire, it's a strong feeling of wanting to have something or wishing for something to happen. So a desire is having a strong feeling of wanting something, wanting to have something, or wishing for something to happen. So that is the first D of weight loss. So maybe you have a desire. And a desire is a good thing. A desire is real. Like there's nothing wrong with wanting to lose weight, right? And wishing that it would happen. But obviously, if we're wanting and wishing, there needs to be some action behind that. It can't just be the desire, right? And we may, even if we have this desire, this tends to happen a lot in the new year, we may have this desire. And we may even make a goal to reach this thing that we desire. But what happens when you're at this D of weight loss, when you're in the desire, phase of weight loss, then you can be easily distracted by other things. Because have you ever desired something, but maybe because remember it said a strong feeling of wanting. So maybe your feelings change, maybe your emotions change, and then you just really didn't care to desire that thing anymore, or you desire something else. So you can really be easily distracted when you're in that desire D of weight loss. It's easy to give into your flesh if you're a woman of faith. If you just have a desire to lose weight, when someone brings donuts to the office, or maybe it's a birthday, or it's I don't know, a potluck or something like that, it's a lot easier to be distracted by those things, because at that time you're desiring that thing, right? So desires can change, they can fluctuate. And so, like I said, that could be one D of weight loss that you're in, but that's not the D we want to stay in, right? But D, the first D is desire. The second D is desperation. So maybe you're at a point where you are desperate to lose weight. And it could be something where it's a medical reason that you're desperate to lose weight. Or it could be that, well, summer's coming, so I'm desperate to lose weight. Wedding season is here, graduation season. So all these events are coming up and I'm really desperate and wanting to lose the weight. So D, desperation, is the second D. And the definition for that is a state of despair, typically one which results in rash or extreme behavior. So when you're in the D of desperation, you may tend to start doing things that really aren't beneficial for you. And maybe you will lose weight, but maybe it's hindering your health long term, or you just may not get the long term benefits. You may start compromising. Maybe you had boundaries of things you would and wouldn't do, but when you get into the state of desperation, you start compromising those boundaries and your standards. When you are desperate, you fall prey to diet culture during that time. And like you guys, if you've ever heard me talk about anything, one of the things I like to teach is breaking free from diet culture and building healthy habits. But when you're in a state of desperation, it's easier for you to fall prey to diet culture. And one of the other things that desperation does, it keeps you in the lose weight and gain it cycle, right? So if you've ever like done fad diets, or you ever done anything where you've lost weight, gained it, lost weight, gained it, you get stuck in this cycle. And when you're in that second D of desperation, that keeps you in that lose weight and gain it cycle. So the second D, desperation. And just to give you a little bit of biblical background for this, because I'm a woman of faith, I don't typically teach biblical weight loss in my group, but just to give you a little bit of a biblical example, when you're desperate and impatient, that's what happened in the situation where they ended up with their Ishmael instead of their Isaac, right? So when you're desperate, that's when you end up with your Ishmael and not your Isaac. All right, so first D was desire, second D, desperation, and the third D, and this is where we want to be, and I'm going to give you some tips for this. The third D is you have decided and made the decision that you are going to lose the weight. So the third D is decide or decision, right? And this isn't really like the Webster definition of decide, but one of the things, like a long time ago in some business training I had done, the trainer was saying that when you look at the word decide and you break it, into its part, like the D and the side, basically what it means is the death of all other options. So when you have made the decision, when you have decided, you have killed off all other options for you, and this is what you're doing. So kind of like the burn the ships analogy, if you know that whole analogy or metaphor, this is what you're going to do. This is the decision that you made. So, and the thing, like I said before, with desire is real, right? But it can easily fluctuate and you can be distracted. So your decision has to be realer than your desire. So your decision has to win over your desire, and you at this point will not allow distractions to take you off course. You have to decide that you are doing this thing. You're going to do what it takes for the time that it takes. You're going to be consistent. If you have to get accountability, you're going to get the accountability that you need. But you are going to not allow any distractions to take you off course. You're not going to allow desires or desperation to interfere with the decision that you have made. All right, so I want to give you some tips on how to decide, how to make the decision, and how to stay decided. So let me give you some quick tips, and that way so you can stay in that third D. All right, first off, you need, and so you're going to get out pen and paper. You can come back to this video and watch it on the replay. You're going to decide, well, what do you want? First of all, what do you want, right? So you have to make a decision for what you actually want. And then what you need to do is sit and look at, well, where am I right now? Okay, this is what I want, but this is where I am right now, right? And there's this gap here between what I want and where I am. And so I have to look at, what do I need to give up, or what do I need to change in my life for me to get there, to the point to where I want to be. So what do you want? Where are you now? What do you have to give up or change to get there? And then I want you to write down, well, what are you going to gain when you give those things up? Because you got to give some stuff up, right? And you're going to have to change some things. And I'm not talking about giving up food, because y'all know I'm not about that food restriction, cutting out food groups life. That's not me. So I'm not talking about giving up food, but there are some things that you're going to need to change. So, but what are some things that you're going to gain by making those changes? And write that down and really look at, who is the person that I need to become to get me to that point that I want to achieve. Because the person that you are when you've hit that goal is not going to be the same person that you are right now. So who is that person that I need to become, and what changes do I need to make to start becoming that person? All right. And so here's 5 things I want you to do. So those are the questions you're going to ask yourself. So once you're clear on what you want and where you're going to do 5 things. 1, I want you to write it down. So write your goal down, whatever that goal is. One of the coaches that I work with, my neuroscience kingdom coach, she says to like put stuff on sticky notes. And so you can write this goal down, or that thing that you want, on sticky notes, and put it like everywhere. Put it all around you so that it can constantly remind you of your goal and what you want. So you can put it like at the foot of your bed. So when you wake up, you see it. Put it on the fridge. Put it in the visor in your car. Just put it on your bathroom mirror. Put it in random places so that you can remind yourself of the goal that you're going after. All right. So that's number 1. Number 2, and really this should be number 1. Number 2, you're a woman of faith. Pray about it and ask God for help. Pray about it. Ask the Holy Spirit to help you. The Holy Spirit is our helper. There's nothing wrong with asking the Holy Spirit to help us to make better decisions with our weight loss, right? So that's number 2. Number 3, I want you to do one thing at a time, right? So remember when we thought about things that we have to change to become that person that we want to be. So pick one thing and work on that one thing. And then once you've achieved that, or once you're doing that one thing consistently, then work on the next thing. So that's number 3, doing one thing at a time. Number 4, I want you to make a plan for distractions, because those desires are going to pop up. There may be times of desperation that pop up. So I want you to make a plan for what you're going to do during those times of distractions, desires, desperation, when things are trying to conflict with that decision that you've made. All right. And then the last thing I want you to do, number 5, is to get some accountability. Now, like I said, I like to do things inside of Transformation Tribe. That's a group that you can join for some accountability. But if you don't want to do that, find a friend of yours that you know will hold you accountable. Maybe somebody that's a little bit farther along than you on your weight loss journey. But having that person for accountability will also kind of help you with number 4, when I was saying make a plan for like the distractions and things like that, because you'll have someone to talk to when you need support. You'll have someone to pray with you or whatever. So number 5, get some accountability. All right. So there you go. That was the 3 Ds of weight loss: desires, desperation, and decision. And then I gave you some tips to stay in that decision phase. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you next time. Bye. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. If you got any value out of this or something just really resonated with you, can you do me a favor and leave a review? It helps others find the show so that it could help them too. Also, I'd love to connect with you on other platforms. I'm Malaika Burley on IG and YouTube. And go grab my free webinar, The 5 Keys to Simple, Successful, and Sustainable Weight Loss at malaikaburley.com. And of course, all of those links are in the show notes. Thanks again and have a blessed day.